Hey guys, welcome to another round of a bookshelf unhaul. Last unhaul video, I went through that row of bookshelves all the way along, and today we are going to continue the unhauling process. My family is going to be moving in a few months, and I'm trying to help us out by not taking all the books with me. It can be hard. Today I'm in the mood to unhaul and get rid of all the books, so we're gonna capitalize on that and try to get rid of a bunch. My dishwasher is going. There's gonna be loud background noise because of it, but you know what? It's just life. So I'm sorry about that, but that's what's happening. So I want to actually finish my bookshelves today. I said in my last video, the cabinets have homeschool supplies. I'm not gonna do those on this channel. I'll probably do that on my personal channel. This might end up getting broken up into 2 videos because I think this might take a while, but I just want to get this done. So that's the plan for today, and people always ask me what I'm doing with the books. I'm going to be selling them locally. I live in Canada. Shipping is outrageous. I can't ship them to the States. I can't ship them within Canada without it being more than the value of the book, so it's not worth it. So I was going to bring it to my local bookstore, but used bookstore. I don't think they're going to take very many, so I think I'm just going to try to sell them locally and give them to friends and see what I can do with them all. Yeah, so let's get started. Some of these shelves, books are going to be flying off left and right, and some of them, pretty much everything's going to stay, but hopefully overall I can get a good chunk of books gone. So we're going to start over there in the little bookshelf, and then we're going to follow that row all the way along, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the lower level, and we'll see how long this takes. Okay, I'll be honest, right off the bat here, I'm not sure a whole lot's gonna come off from this section. So I've got my complete Shakespeare. I'm not really a Shakespeare fan, but I do want to read all of his works at some point, so I'm keeping this for that reason. Because I don't love Shakespeare, I'm better off just having a collection of his complete works instead of having them all in separate books. We've got the Bible recap. This is a really great book, keeping that. Then this is my short story collection. Oh, and my tablet pen. So I've got The Plated Spoon and Other Tales of Sherlock Holmes, Penguin, Modern British Short Stories, Flannery O'Connor. I've actually only read one short story from here. These kind of should be on my to-read shelf. Yellow Wallpaper and Other Stories, Let Me Tell You by Shirley Jackson, and Classic Tales of Detection and Adventure. I'm keeping all of those. I have not read all of these short stories, so later in the year, I have a goal to read 52 short stories this year or more. I kind of am thinking about doing a short story readathon of sorts. If you guys would be interested in joining me for that, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll figure that out. And then I've got this book sleeve from Katie that usually holds my e-reader, but it's currently empty. I don't know where my e-reader is, to be honest, right now. So we're not getting rid of anything here, and I can tell you right off the bat, we're not going to get rid of anything off of this shelf, because this is my L.M. Montgomery shelf. And yes, I have multiple editions of certain books. The Story Girl, The Story Girl, The Story Girl, kind of evident right there. But I love her books, and I have tons of different Anne of Green Gables, 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 Anne of Green Gables. They're staying. Don't judge me, okay? Or if you want to judge me, that's fine. All her books are staying. Nothing's going. She's one of my absolute favorite authors. So, sorry, not sorry. They're coming with me. Sorry to everyone who's gonna carry that box. Okay, this shelf, I feel like we can do some good damage in a positive way. I have money from different places that I've traveled in here, so I just keep some change and stuff. So I've got American dollar, we've got some Mexican pesos, I know I've got some Ugandan money, some British pounds, I've got euros in here, South African rand. Yeah, so this is a cool way to keep track of where you've been. Now, this is another one of my classic shelves. We went through 1.5 of them in the last video. Oh, and there's some Lego. And I did notice that some of the books that I kept from the shelf above, I actually have duplicates of. So I might also pull a few books from this shelf up here and get rid of them. So where do we start? Yeah, well, look at this. We've got a treasury of Hans Christian Andersen, and I can tell you that this is going to hold more stories than this one, so I may as well get rid of this edition. This one will stay. Now here's where I've got lots of Pilgrim's Progress as well. I had one copy up on this shelf. I've got this copy, which is supposed to be an illustrated classic, but it doesn't have much for illustrations. I do really like this story. I also have this edition, and so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Oh, but this one does have some little annotations. Oh, I didn't realize that. I feel like I need to get rid of one of them. I can't keep 3 copies. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, then I have Emma by Jane Austen. This is a cool edition, but it's another one of those, like, I have numerous editions of Emma, so that one's gonna go. Oh. And then I can actually fit this one in here. Now, once again, I've got Jane Austen. This book is gorgeous. I love it. It's got Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Emma. But once again, I own them in different copies. It can't stay as much as I love it. Plus, it's like, it's hard, like it's a hardcover, but it's got like a squish to it. It's very satisfying. But the font is small, the book is heavy, it's gotta go. Heidi. Now, I do own another edition. This one is obviously cuter. This one is really old though. Oh, I don't think it actually has a date in it. It's been ripped out. It's really old end papers. Oh, it's got some pencil marking on it, but I don't love the Heidi story, so I don't need a second copy. Then we've got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and other stories. Now, this is one that I forgot that I do own Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but this one has more stories, so I'm gonna get rid of the other copy, keep this one. We've Always Lived in the Castle. I really enjoy Shirley Jackson. Out of the Silent Planet, I need to finish that series. I've got Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte, North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Those are gonna stay. Robinson Crusoe. Not a fan of this, but I do want to keep that. Here's another edition of Emma. This one I'm keeping. And another edition of North and South. Also keeping. I am very, very, very slowly collecting this edition, but it's slow. We've got Skating Shoes by Noel Strutfield. Love this cover. Love the feel of, or the reminder of You've Got Mail. So that's staying. My Cousin Rachel. In my last video, I got rid of an older copy. I love this. I can't remember. Vigo something Classics. I love their editions. I've got this copy of Jane Eyre. Some books up here. So I just read Cat Stories last month and really enjoyed it. But I'm actually thinking I'm going to get rid of it. Originally, I thought I would keep it, but I think it's going to go. We've got Oliver Twist. This is my one and only copy of this, and I just bought it. I really enjoy Oliver Twist, so he's gonna go over there, kind of in color order. Now here are my pretty Jane Austen editions. We've got Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, which is my favorite of Jane Austen's, Northanger Abbey, and, whoa, Emma. So, love those. Those are staying. And then, like I said, Oliver Twist, 1984 by George Orwell. And I've got Emma and Pride and Prejudice in these little editions. These are actually the editions I read them from for the first time years ago. Once again, the font is tiny. I am going to keep my, whatever edition these are. Macmillan Collector's Library Edition books. But I don't think I'm going to keep these. I wonder if they're actually the same edition, just red. They're Collector's Library. Huh. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of these. Can't keep all the books. We've got The Turn of the Screw. A Room of One's Own. Oh, I did not enjoy this one. 3 Guineas. Do I want to read that? I actually think I'm just gonna get rid of this book. I really didn't like it. A Little Princess, I got rid of one. No, I didn't. It's still here. I think I can get rid of this edition because obviously this one's beautiful. And it's one of my favorite movies, the 1993-ish edition. And this was gifted to me by one of my great friends. Around the World in 80 Days. So I forgot, I also have this edition, which is funny because there's a big size difference. I like the vintage feel of this one. The font is tiny. I think I'm gonna keep the vintage edition though. It's cool. And then this is the only edition of The Secret Garden that I'm keeping. And I'm also keeping the Anne of Green Gables one. These are illustrated. Of course, when you're looking for an illustration, you can't find one. Yeah, this is an illustrated edition, and I read it from here, reread it from here a couple years ago. I love that. Okay, then we're gonna move over to the next shelf. This is mostly my Christian fiction shelf. Actually, this book is by my daughter. So obviously keeping that. This shelf has gotten a little overfull. We've got Set the Stars Alight by Amanda Dykes. This is one of my favorites of hers. I'm just gonna move it over for now. Definitely keeping that. This seashell is The 5-Year-Olds. Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green is a favorite. The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp. Keeping those for sure. Just need to move them to make room. When Twilight Breaks, Sarah Sundin, I don't mind her books, but she's not my favorite. I think I'll get rid of that. Lady Jane Disappears was my first Joanna Davidson Politano. I loved it. A Rumored Fortune. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I read it a while ago and it's just not a favorite of mine. The Lost Melody, that one is a favorite. Susie Finkbeiner, Stories That Bind Us. Yes, that's absolutely staying. Amanda Dykes, Whose Waves These Are. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. It was the first one I read by her and I enjoyed it, but Set the Stars Alight was better. An Ivy Hill Christmas. This one I enjoyed the conversation, or like the learning about Christmas in it wasn't the Victorian period. I don't remember exactly, maybe it was the Victorian period, but I don't think I'll reread that. All Manner of Things, Nature of Small Birds, like 5+ star books. Those are staying. The Secret Keepers of Old Depot Grocery. I did enjoy this one, but I don't think I'm gonna reread it, so I'm gonna say goodbye to that one. The Edge of Belonging, I loved. You Don't Know Me, I loved that one. Then I have my Jamie Jo Wright stack. I am gonna keep all of these. Echoes Among the Stones is my least favorite, but it's staying. This, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just get rid of the ones that I don't love. Okay, Echoes Among the Stones is going. This elephant is made from banana leaves. We got this in Uganda. Now I have a little bit more room here. The All-American by Susie Finkbeiner. I enjoyed it. I just read it recently. I love that you can read a Christian fiction book without romance being the center of the plot. Or there was actually like none in this one, but I don't think I'm gonna keep it. Finding Lady Enderley. This one actually quite annoyed me at the beginning. I got into it by the end, but I'm not gonna keep that one. The Heart Reader of Franklin Hyde. This one is like a little bit like spiritual warfare-esque. I'm not gonna keep that one. Catching Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas reads. Shatona's Bookstrings books are all staying. This Present Darkness and Piercing the Darkness by Frank Peretti are staying. Another Shatona book, Argosy Junction. That was my first read by her. And then we have Counted with the Stars. This is his biblical fiction. I'm gonna get rid of that. And then two really great books here. Safely Home by Randy Alcorn and The Oath by Frank Peretti. Those are staying. And now I also have room for some other books here. This side is like historical fiction. This side is more contemporary. And then my daughter's book needs to go front and center there. Well, almost centered. And we will move on to my other bookshelf. Okay, we'll start with this side of it. So I've got a couple different kinds of things going on here, actually. Snow White with the Red Hair. This is a manga series that I've really been enjoying, so that's staying. And Every Morning The Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. It's a super short book that will have you in tears. Book Love. This is a little comic book about different, I don't know, bookish, I don't know. If you're a reader, you'll probably relate to this quite a bit. I loved this and I need to reread it. Now we've got some like parenting and all sorts of different books here. So the Sally Clarkson books are staying for sure. I just need to move them. A Charm of Goldfinches. This is really cute, but I don't think I need to keep it. I loved his illustrations though. They're really cool. But I read it. I don't think I need to continue like keeping it. Simplicity Parenting. I think this one can go. The Core. This is a homeschool book that I'm gonna keep. Notes from a Blue Bike. I've read a couple times. It's been a while. I'm gonna keep it for now, I think. No, you know what? I also own the ebook, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. And The Turquoise Table and The Call of the Wild and Free. I'm gonna get rid of both of those, which is good because this pot has been squished in here. Now I can breathe a bit. Here is more like, I guess this is fantasy, part of our fantasy section. Heartless I just read. I think, do I want to keep this for my daughter? I think I'm just gonna get rid of this one. The Eternity Gate I really enjoyed. Can't wait for book 2. Babel, no, this has gotta go. I read this in the fall. For the most part, generally, if I have like red tabs, that means I don't like something. There was a lot of things I didn't like, and the ending is terrible. Sorry, guys. That one's going. Romanov, I loved. Fox, I loved. Lost Kingdom, I just read last month and really enjoyed. I love Mark of the Raven. I think I'm gonna get rid of Cry of the Raven, though. Once again, I really enjoyed the first book in the series, didn't enjoy the others as much. The Goose Girl I've enjoyed, and I have not continued the series. So maybe I'll just get rid of River Secrets. This is book 1 and book 3 in like a fairy tale retelling. At least this one is a fairy tale retelling. And I've had this for years and haven't read it, so it can go. The Queen's Rising I really enjoyed. I have been trying to decide if I'm going to read the second book in the duology. I feel like it ended well. But I'm gonna keep that. And Stepsister, I'm torn. I really did enjoy it. I'm gonna keep it for right now. I might end up getting rid of a few more books before we move, but now that plant can hold those up. And you can already see that I have Hardy Boys books. I thought maybe my son would like these, but honestly, I'm just gonna get rid of these. So that's easy enough. And then we've done, oh, that shelf is very dusty. Can you see that? Yeah. So we've done all of this section. So I'm gonna move my tripod down to the lower level and then we will go through there. Okay, so this is my Tolkien shelf. Those are gonna stay. Jared and Reika are really big fans of his books. This is my collection of his books. Yeah, so those will stay. So easy enough. This shelf is pretty much a bunch of Sanderson books. Actually, I never did show at the very top of this bookshelf. We also have the whole Stormlight archive. Those are staying. This one I got Jared for Christmas, In the Shadow of Lightning. I don't think he enjoyed it enough to keep it. I'll pull it off and I'll ask him. I think that one can go. But all our Sanderson books here will be staying. You can't actually quite see them all. There's the Mistborn series and Elantris there, and Legion. I don't think I've ever given any of his books even 3 stars. I think they've all been 4 or 5, so yeah, they need to stay. This shelf is mostly science fiction. I think some fantasy has gotten moved on here, plus an empty dust jacket from a book that I'm reading. So let's see here. 6 Crimson Cranes I just read and enjoyed. I'm gonna keep that. Scythe, I've kept this one. I got rid of the rest of the series, but I did enjoy book 1. Definitely a theme. The Forgetting I enjoyed, but I don't think enough to keep. Recorder I loved. Illusion I loved. The whole Divergent series, I think I can get rid of. Oh, now I just realized I put a keep and a get rid of on the same pile. So I'm going to get rid of Allegiant, Divergent, Insurgent, 4. And then other books will fall. Just throw them in here for now. Okay. Wolf by Wolf and Blood for Blood are a duology. They're really cool. Alternate history. My Lady Jane I really enjoyed. Aberration is book 2 after Recorder. Sky Hunter I enjoyed and I'm waiting to read the second book. It's on my shelf. My Plain Jane I loved. Ember in the Mist I read recently, really enjoyed that. Wormwood Abbey was so fun. I can't wait to get to book 2. I always forget how to pronounce this. Synapse? Really enjoyed that. It's like a Christian science fiction book. Ender's Game. I think this one can go. The Chemist. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I need to own it. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. Another one that I enjoyed, but I don't think I need to keep. I can actually fit this book back on here now. 6 Crimson Cranes. Let's move you over a bit. The lunar coloring is going to bother me here. These got to go here. Okay. The Lunar Chronicles. We've got Cinder and Scarlet. Those are book 1 and book 2. I don't own the rest of the series. I really like book 1. I think book 2 is the weakest one in the series. But then I enjoy the rest of the series. But I think I can get rid of this one. The Hunger Games. Did I even keep? I think we just kept this one. I think a while ago Reika read them and we decided to keep book 1. Project Hail Mary I love. The Rule of 3. I still need to finish this series. It started out as a trilogy. I think it ended up being 4 books. It's pretty good, but I don't think I need to keep it. All Systems Red. Once again, this isn't the first book in a series, the first novella. It was pretty good, but not really worth keeping, even though I've kept it for years. Last Light. I still need to finish the series by Terry Blackstock, but I don't think I need to own it. And The Host, I really enjoyed, even though this is one of the weirdest books to try to explain to people. I feel like a crazy person. Wow, okay, that's quite a bit. I think we will stop almost there. I'll show you my next shelf. This is my red Agatha Christie shelf, and I'm not getting rid of any of them. I've borrowed a few out to friends. There's a few missing. I have lots more to read that are downstairs. But Agatha, like L.M. Montgomery, these are my collections. They're staying. So that's all for this video. I'm going to film the next one, but it might be a while before I put it up, just because of timing. So thanks for joining me for this unhaul, and I will see you in a video again soon and another unhaul soon.